Greetings, Space Cadets, and welcome back to Ratchet and Clank. In Part 9 of the Rocket Rabbit Commentaries playthrough, our heroes may have finally discovered the secret weapon of the Blarg.
It's a cyber demon!
Captain, did you know Drek's secret project was a Blargian Snagglebeast? What did you teach me? Captain?
Nothing! Nothing!
Oh boy.
You see, that would have been a prime opportunity to just fusion grenade him in the mouth.
And that was the moment when Cloud realized that they actually used the brain-eating zombie T-Rex from the Novalis adventure in order to prime us for a Snagglebeast creature that is so powerful his roar will cause our cheeks to waggle by the forces. This boss is really not that hard as long as you use the Groovatron. There are I will concede there are moments in this game that the Groovatron has virtually no effect on, and then I pay the price for my hubris. But this is not one of them, and this is a pretty fun boss fight.
So does he actually take damage by diving into the lava, or is it just a cooldown period for his next attack?
It's actually an
it's a horde
advancement
summon. Okay.
of the boss fight. Flee before Mr. Zurkon.
Zurkon, slayer of the Anglian horde.
So I'm trying to think of a good third-person. This is basically a third-person shooter. Third-person shooter is the last platformer. But what would be a good comparison for a boss fight quite of this size, especially with the dancing Snagglebeast?
Metroid Prime 2.
Nice.
Metroid Prime 2 had quite a few of these style of bosses.
Dance! Dance! Huh.
So does Mr. Zurkon have the cool for the coronavirus?
Human beings are a disease. You're a plague of this planet. Mr. Zurkon is the cure. Huh. Coronavirus.
Are we ever gonna do Matrix for one-time rabbits?
I mean, maybe. But, I mean, because it's a seasonal thing. Now, there's a little backdoor talk, is that we're trying to aim for about one movie a season, as we have a schedule for some things. We have so many things on our list, and, like, I mean, who doesn't already have a pretty formed and well solidified opinion of The Matrix?
That's true. Here we see Ratchet doing his best Omni-Wrench Flurry attack, and it actually does a sizable amount of damage.
It does, yes. It does even more damage if you're actually trying to complete your card packs. Because I haven't been opening my cards, I have no Omni-Wrench upgrades. Except maybe my level. And the boss fight is over. Chairman?
I yield! Please, don't hurt me! Tell us what you hang on.
Tell us what you know about Drek's plan.
Clank, you don't breathe.
Thanks. Yeah, what he said.
I can give you this info bot.
You watch this one, pal. I'm just gonna take 5.
Clank does not suffer from humanoid exhaustion.
You're watching this Infobot. You've been selected for the beta trial of my latest invention. Anyone? Interesting small
Why would it be injuring your central nervous system? It's not linked directly to your frontal cortex.
Oh, my spine! I love how Invader Zim this game gets.
I don't remember most of the supporting cast for Invader Zim.
That is because most of them were unnamed characters or reused characters who were left unexplained.
Wasn't the chick that Zim ended up having a crush on just called the girl?
No, that was... Who Zim had a crush? Well, it was Tack. It was Tack the hideous new girl. And she was hideous! So ugly! That actually... Alright, so on the subject of previous subject of backdoor commentaries talk, I was actually thinking of doing a mini Invader Zim marathon.
Oh, alright.
And I wanted to do the first episode, the TAC episode, which we were just talking about, and the Halloween special.
Okay.
Probably about 70 minutes in length, something around there.
All right, so we're just going to Gaspar.
We're going to Gaspar immediately.
I thought we would actually finish up the Nebula space station stuff, but okay.
Well, we could, and we probably will be coming back here. But I really want that jetpack. I love the jetpack very much. And Gaspar gives you a wide open playground where you can fly around with a jetpack.
Wide open spaces, yeah.
The very same intro, just set in a different environment and color scheme.
So, our fighter has got like 2 different missile pods and 2 laser bays on it. Are we allowed to fire those?
Yes. Well, I mean, not right now, because obviously we have to do this incognitus. There will be a level coming up where you get to play as your fighter plane. And on the subject of missing equipment, we have a lot of unlocking to do.
And we can get the plasma cutter.
Plasma Striker?
Yes, Striker.
Sadly, I mostly stick to my current cast until I have so much bolts that I just decided to start buying everything. Which I suppose was a mistake on my part, because then I wasted a lot of time upgrading weapons I probably had no business upgrading. But that's later. Right now, we gotta get around this turret for the love of God.
Turret segment.
Sorry, I thought you were a deer. This might take you a little while to figure out. You have to use the turret to take out the door. I don't know how well they explain that. Oh, and try not to leave the turret alone, because these guys love the turret.
Yeah, but they are of limited number, and we are of relative high power. So
I mean, plus it would just get plain annoying.
Sure thing, Dr. Nefarious.
Oh yeah, on the subject of actually no, we haven't even raised the subject of duplicity. Not quite yet in this game. That, yeah, Dr. Nefarious is reportedly dead, but we're listening to him talk right now. Ratchet doesn't seem to care.
Well, of course not. Ratchet is engrossed in the superhero mythos, and as everyone who is actually engrossed in the superhero mythos knows, villains don't die; they just stop being a thing for a week.
Just a week. Tune in next time at the conclusion of exciting adventure, Woody's finest hour. Damn it! All right, take out that one. What were we just talking about, Ratchet? Open the door with the key.
The key being several small bullets fired from the turret.
Don't get off of the turret yet. You're probably gonna need it now.
These guys aren't that bad. You can just, fusion grenade them to death. They have relatively limited attack power, and you have a Groovatron.
Dance. Dance, you calamitous pile of junk.
Although you are, mostly out of fusion grenade ammo.
You could get some pretty sweet fusion grenade shots from that distance. Okay, elevator, go.
Heal buttons.
It's a pretty dangerous segment, but I applaud this game's use of good level design and character advancement. That most of the map is inaccessible right now because you don't have the jetpack. Much like how in the Legend of Zelda games, besides I suppose the first one, that you will slowly unlock this map by advancing your characters and his abilities.
Unless, of course, you play a Zelda randomizer, which I do recommend. Zelda randomizers are fun. So, what's going on with the lighting for Jack's cadet suit? It's like shifting. It's like shifting from black steel to cobalt steel as we're going through this area.
Cobalt. That is indeed the color I observed right there. Ratchet's suit, not Jack's suit, has fixed color, but because of the HD graphics, it will actually enhance your character's look in order to adapt to the environment, to make him look heroic in pretty much any situation.
I don't know about heroism, but...
How?
I mean, if I had to pick the most heroic color, it probably would be blue, but that's only because of stereotype. My personal favorite color is purple, after all.
Trying to think, are there any superheroes who do not necessarily use the color? Well, all right. So I was about to make the mistake of saying the color blue exclusively, but as a color wheel and pretentious understanding of how the electromagnetic spectrum works, that blue covers actually a spectrum of colors going from like gray to green, and all those would have the properties of blue. So, that being said, I don't think there is a single superhero in existence that does not somehow use the color blue.
Black Canary.
But I thought Grayscale was blue. Again,
there's a pretty big problem with that, though, Mr. Cloud. If Grayscale is equivalent to a shade of blue, then, to be perfectly honest, all colors have a tinge of blue in them, because that's how the color wheel actually works.
And I suppose, yeah, and then by that very loose understanding, I don't know a single darn thing I'm talking about the color wheel. All I know is that I've seen it a few times in art class, and then it reappeared on the internet somehow. That I suppose, according to my understanding, white would be the only exception, and that simply cannot be true.
Yeah, because white is still technically on the color wheel.
But where?
Well, the wheel that I would be using in order to define white and black would actually be a linear spectrum, as opposed to an actual wheel.
Yeah, the electromagnetic spectrum.
Right.
From red to purple.
No, that's a very limited subset of the electromagnetic spectrum.
But the visible, right, and it's called the visible spectrum. It is a very limited portion of the electromagnetic spectrum.
Boots!
Boots! Now take the grind boots away.
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, got to follow my rainbow. That's the only part of the song I know.
Set me free, just you and me will escape from the city. Jump in time!
So we also have Shadow the Hedgehog rail switching. Cool.
Nice. I like when the game temporarily slows down time in order to provide a tutorial. They've done that several times throughout the game, actually, and it usually helped. This time it says,
Alright.
fuck you.
And in the next episode, we'll continue on our questing through Gaspar in order to get the hover jetpack. The
XK-81
XL-81
jetpack!